surpasses.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Power Hour. I'm your boy Kid Takeoff. Jay Heat is not going to be able to be available to us, maybe for now. He might join back up later, and I might have a random guest, Taladia, join us later if he's available also. But until then, you're stuck with me. But we're going to get right down into it. I know the last episode we had Sasuke versus Vegeta. And before I go any further, I do have a random pop up guest. I'm pretty sure y'all already know who it is. My boy Jay Heat was able to make it.
What's up, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? So I was telling them like last week or last episode we were talking about Sasuke versus Vegeta, and
Yeah,
as you can tell about my background and my shirt, I'm pretty sure that you and the viewers already know what time it is.
and let it be known due to technical difficulties, Dynamic Duo will be slightly delayed, but we're still working that out. We'll let you know on Twitter.
All right, all right, all right. So hopefully we'll drop that for y'all at some point. But getting down to it, we're gonna get into our first candidate, the one and only Saitama. Now, I like Saitama. Like, I would say they'll say that he's one of the strongest characters in the series, and so far, no enemy has ever been able to injure him in any way, and almost no enemy has been able to survive a single punch from him. I was about to say powerful punch, but I'll just put punch. You know, there's no emphasis that can even be put on that. And a few enemies have survived his punches, but as for any human that he has struck, and even Boros, he's emphasized that with that he's held back to also give a lot of his enemies somewhat of a fight. But we all know if this man went 100% of his powers, even Jesus himself wouldn't be able to touch this man. And like his strength is just so great, and it even matches artificial beings like designed specifically for superhero combat. This man literally trained for what was it, 3 months, 3 years, something like that, and almost had a near-death experience. But he made his body completely indestructible.
I think it was 3 years. I want to say it was 3 years.
I was thinking 3 years also. Yeah, I knew it was either 3 days, 3 months, or 3 years. It was three something. But they say his strength is just mysterious, bro. Like his strength is just out of this world, and he tells everybody that he got his strength and his power through just mere physical training. Now I had to believe it. I had to see it to believe it. But
But
yeah,
but I will say, and that's why Saitama is so complicated when it comes to versus battles, because you're comparing a gag character to other battle shonen with other power ranking systems. Gag
right.
characters are automatically going to be hacked in or severely broken in any reality outside of their verse. So scaling Saitama in any way is going to be quite a challenge to tackle. Only another gag character will be able to counter Saitama.
Yeah, and then the funny thing, it's like if you just, despite his unbelievable physical powers, he can be outperformed by people with skills in areas outside of fighting. Like when he was bested by Bane in the game of rock paper scissors, defeated by King in video games and mostly sided matches. But he seemed to possess more normal human appetite as he lost to Genos in the spicy noodle eating contest, if you remember that.
Again, that's mostly Saitama's are purely physical strength, peak physical condition. Any other skills he's relatively average at, if not slightly above average. But if you're a purely skill-based fighter, like say Ninja from episode 2, you could hold your own if you can outpace and outmaneuver him. But the moment Saitama lands a blow, you're in for a rude awakening. And I do not recommend getting hit below the belt because there's no coming back from him.
There really ain't. Look, especially that serious punch. And there was this one where an example. I can give you an example of his casual and overwhelming offensive power when he launches himself from atop of buildings, blasts right through giant meteors with a punch, lands safely on the moon, jumps off and destroys half of it. He stops a sword by catching it with his teeth, shattering the blade with the power of his jaw. This man used his jumping powers to launch himself forward and perform a punch that'll send someone flying around the world faster than Superman. A single serious punch from him was able to counter the latter's strongest attack, collapsing star-roaring cannon. Now, do you remember that episode?
I remember that episode.
The attack that attack was capable of destroying the entire planet. Now, he is what you call, I would say this man can just rip time. This man literally can travel 864 billion times the speed of light.
Yeah.
But he claims that mere physical training is what got him where he's at. I find BS on that. This man has superhuman abilities.
Again, it's a gag manga.
Hey, it's like how they written Avatar: The Last Airbender. You don't just bend one, you bend them all.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Just like how it's written. I mean, the artist just gives them, what they want. Now, he was able to complete, if I'm not mistaken, a 1,500 meter dash in an instant during the tryouts. Was it 1,500?
I want to say it was a 1,500, if not 2,000.
Didn't he do that one lap around the track nearly in the blink of an eye?
Roughly 2 seconds.
Yeah, and he has been able to prove himself effortlessly outpaced the speed of sound Sonic. And
you're comparing Sonic to base, and say Supersonic or Hypersonic with the Super Animals from Sonic 3. It would be a very close race. In terms of pure physical caliber and speed, it'd be close. Now, Saitama might overpower Sonic, but outspeed or outrace him? No. He'd be close, but Sonic would edge out in the end.
Yeah, and Saitama also shown the ability to run down a building to save a piece of salmon that he lost for lunch. Now, that I found was very funny.
Hey, man, it's just, man, if I was on the verge of losing my lunch, I would have chased it too.
Right. And then I would say, if I'm not mistaken, another one, his abilities, he's capable of moving any of his limbs at extremely fast speeds without flinching and not stopping until his target is completely obliterated, like he did against Boros. Boros went all out with this man, and he literally sat there and just looked at him. I was just wondering how long Saitama was going to tow with this man. But
I might be lowballing this because I'm not fully caught up with the manga, so I might be lowballing this. But Boros was multi-planet buster at best, maybe low galaxy level.
And Saitama has also been shown to be perfect at dodging and performing highly acrobatic maneuvers. His reflexes render him flexible. I would say more flexible than Ty Lee off of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now that was a flexible girl, but Saitama moves in ways that no anime character has ever fought.
Man, you need to be real with him. Ty Lee was a freak.
She moved her body in ways that we have never See, Avatar: The Last Airbender was actually an anime.
Well, technically, it was part of the American anime fad in the early 2000s. It's still an American-made production.
But I gotta say, like, but when we got introduced to Ty Lee,
Oh,
like
Outlook.
we were just
Out,
like, how in the world could she move like that? Then here's Saitama, he's fighting and just like he would literally look like he's walking, but this man would be running, and I'm just like, how?
now, don't get me wrong. Outlook was a masterpiece. But if we're really being real here, again, Ty Lee might be able to prance around and outmaneuver Saitama in terms of reaction speed. But the moment Saitama lands a hit, Ty Lee's down for the count, if not dead. And
Right.
well, I shouldn't say that because Ty Lee's got chi blocking. So it just depends on who can outmaneuver the other first. Still, that's too close to call.
They both have very good reflexes, and they're just flexible as fuck. Now, I would say, I ain't trying to say this in a homo way, but I would say Goku is more flexible than Vegeta.
Pause.
Look, you got to think Goku, he can move his body way quicker than Vegeta. Vegeta's more offensive.
Yeah, Goku's more adaptable. But yeah, Vegeta always fights with a burden on his shoulder, hence why his reaction speed is slower.
And at least Goku, he knows how to lean back, dodge, fly through this, fly through that, side. Like
you're comparing a martial artist to a brawler. They have completely different philosophies.
Well, I would consider both of them, One Punch Man and Goku, to be, martial artists in a way.
Not as versatile as Goku, but I can see your point.
And so we're gonna get on to the discussion now. Is there any facts that you have that you know off the top of your head about Saitama, or some of your favorite One Punch Man moments?
Again, Saitama could do a lot more. Now he does take off. When he takes off in the manga, he takes off. But based on what the majority of general audience have seen in seasons 1 and 2, Saitama's slightly multi-planetary, like rough, slightly stronger than where Boros was going to the tail end of season 1.
So
season 2, Saitama barely did anything except maybe a small skirmish with Goro halfway through the second season. Saitama had barely a role in season 2.
Now, if you say he's more of a galactic world buster or world destroyer, like I guess in the sense of his power, so you're saying he's like the Broly of One Punch Man's universe?
Relatively, but we've never really seen Saitama at his full power, except for a handful of occasions in the manga.
And but then you got in DragonBallZ, you got Broly and Jiren, who are world busters.
Well, Jiren and Broly, Jiren mostly. Jiren is is destroyer tier. Is destroyer tier, definitely. Broly's just under it because he's able to break the dimensional barrier against Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. So Broly's dimensional level. Jiren's above destroyer level, and Toppo's destroyer level as a destroyer candidate. So whereas Saitama, he's galaxy level at best, based on what we've seen so far. Now, depending on how the story progresses, can he reach interdimensional? Maybe. But from what we've seen currently right now in the manga, he's galaxy level at best.
All right. I can definitely agree on that. I would say, hey, Dragon Ball power scaling is kind of, rigged because, they made Legendary Super Saiyan top with or match Blue Gogeta. But no. You know darn well if it was Dragon Ball Z, Broly, the Legendary Super Saiyan, would not be that strong. He died from a mere Super Saiyan at best.
Legendary Super Saiyan is a variant based on a specific trait and reincarnation of the destructive power of the Super Saiyan. Broly stems from that line, which means he has the most savagery and potential out of any Super Saiyan compared to other bloodlines. Now, Goku was the first in the modern day to achieve the form against Frieza on Namek, but Broly has the most potential as the current incarnation of the same legend. Broly has the most potential.
Yeah, I would say Broly's more adaptable than anybody in the Dragon Ball universe.
Roll the tape.
All right, now here is just a video presentation of Saitama's powers. If I missed anything, this will cover it. But I hope y'all enjoy.
Saitama has finally showcased his true power in One Punch Man manga after 10 years since it began.
Oh my god.
In chapter 167, Saitama declared that his dream from chapter 1 of having a real fight has come true. He's finally fighting an opponent that doesn't, instantly die.
A few minutes later.
That face,
This is
though.
why it's the best time to scale Saitama's character, because he has literally, and I mean literally, broken every single feat we've known he's done in the past. Meaning it's time to go balls scaling, quantifying, and using our degree in anime bullshit science to put everything in perspective. To begin, let's explain how Saitama became limitless, as chapter 167 confirmed the theory that Dr. Genius had made with the last page of the chapter stating Saitama is limitless. We all know Saitama had unparalleled determination to become strong. His training led him to break his limiter as he pushed himself above and beyond his physical and mental limits. In chapter 88, the story explains how Saitama overcame everyone. Genis and the House of Evolution wanted to create human perfection. However, Genis stopped the experiment when he realized Saitama had become the perfect person he sought after. Saitama achieved this by tearing off what are known as limiters. These limiters are placed by God as a means to stop people from reaching beyond their own physical capabilities, or else their power will only serve to damage themselves until the final outcome is that of a mindless, rampaging monster. Psycho states it is possible to reach the next stage if one conquers death, and if the process is repeated, you end up with explosive growth. Saitama, as stated by Genis, had no natural talent and broke his limiter through sheer willpower and hard work, meaning the 3 years of consecutive training caused him to reach a near-death experience. Now, in the webcomic, My Mask mentions that there are numerous errors in One Punch Man chapter 119. He recounts how people struggled for land in global wars until the population dropped and they prioritized future generations. This was the first era of change. However, the aftermath of war still seeped through, as things like climate change reshaped the world again, resulting in the second era of change, where the population had to migrate to a single landmass to survive. The way humans survived was by being continuous environmental creatures, being able to adapt. However, modern society is different. In a way, you might imagine it as humanity reaching a point in their evolution when they have reached their limits, or have found an over-reliance on a system like the hero system. That's why Blast tells Tatsumaki never to rely on someone else, and only comes around when humanity is in danger, for example. This, plus the influx of monsters, suggests that they're in the third era of change. My Mask says that they need an immune system to survive this new era, and Saitama being called a superhero by My Mask confirms that he is the first of Genius's idea of perfect people. Overall, Saitama is the strongest being on the globe because he has adapted to the new period. This was even foreshadowed when he explains his training, where he doesn't use air conditioning, a heater, or anything else to make his training easier. He persevered through the struggle to enhance his human spirit, adapting to a new environment, molding him into normalcy. Now, to set things straight before we move forward, chapter 167 has not revealed Saitama's full power in its complete form. Although he does state he will be able to use his full power, he does realize after making that statement that he must handicap himself. Number 1. Saitama still has his promise with Haruo. He told him he won't kill Garo because they have a connection and a bond and friendship. And we can assume Saitama is a man of his word. Therefore, he is fighting Garo without killing intent. Number 2, Saitama realizes he must keep Genos' core safe at all times, so he's fighting really precautiously. And number 3, Saitama is only fighting with one hand and will beat him with one hand. The story most definitely is setting up the fact that Saitama will only go truly 100% and fulfill his dream in full against the pure evil that is the celestial being called God. Therefore, Saitama is most definitely going to scale even higher in the future once the chapters of Saitama vs. this celestial god are released.
Wait, what's going on?
Alrighty, so we're gonna end it right in that one right there. That was the stopping point that I had marked on that, and because that explained everything. We will not know his true power until he fights this so-called entity, their god of their universe that no one knows about.
There's definitely an end game being set up, but I feel like in the Saitama versus Garo in chapter 167, he is being handicapped in that fight because he has to preserve Genos' core in order to rebuild him. So I feel Saitama's pretty handicapped in this upcoming fight, in this current arc.
And I find it very disrespectful that he only fights with one hand. That's one thing that I like. No matter who he fights, he would just sit there and just dodge. I'm just like, dude, you're not even using your other hand.
Well, he's got 2 legs.
Oh yes, and he barely uses. All it takes is one punch for the hand that he's using, and you go flying through like 5 mountains. And then you got the whole, like, we've only got a small hint of his power, just like they said in some of the later chapters, but he has yet, and I think they're on season 3, but they haven't yet found someone that can match his abilities.
I agree.
And so, but there's only one person in the anime universe that may, I said may, not no guarantee. Don't get y'all viewers, do not get your panties in a bunch. But there's only one person that I really, really think that can stand up against him, and that is my boy. And I would have to say that even Goku, he possesses a lot of superhuman and physical attributes. Even when he trained with Beerus, that puts him on God level. As a Saiyan, it also gives him more advanced power or strength beyond any human. He's strong enough to break all earthling weapons or materials. He can move in intense gravity, like on planet Namek. What was it? He trained on 100% times gravity. And against Final Form Frieza, and survived the explosion when it was done.
150 times gravity, and technically it was retconned that he had found one of the Ginyu Force pods and fled the planet at the very last minute.
Yeah, I thought it was Frieza's ship.
He tried Frieza's ship, but it was too damaged to fly. It ended up crashing into a lava ravine.
And then also, my boy can move and react at least as fast as Beerus himself, who has shown faster speeds.
When Beerus is holding back, because again, Beerus used roughly the only time Beerus used his full power is when he used Hakai to negate the beam struggle in the anime. That's the only time Beerus actively used his full power against Goku or Vegeta in a fight.
Yeah, but we don't even know Beerus is 100% yet.
No, we do not.
But I would say Goku's durability is great, that he can survive universal forces of energy. But but while naturally durable, thanks to his Saiyan cells, he doesn't have any limits. As other powerful beings as himself can hurt and potentially kill him.
I
Like
agree.
I would say, the only people that can possibly kill Goku is like gods at this point.
Relatively.
And
Or
I would
destroy.
say,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
or Destroyer. I would say, yeah, and Destroyer. Look, his buddy Zeno can destroy him easily.
Yeah, but that's because Zeno can just erase everything and everyone.
At a flick of his wrist. And then
Zeno
you can go ahead.
Zeno's too fond of Goku. He'd never do it.
Yeah, Zeno wants Goku. And
not like that, you pervs.
Yeah, Goku is able to think and react at extremely high speeds. Just like an Ultra Instinct, he's able to dodge and catch projectiles of fire weapons, kind of like how he was dodging Jiren's energy blast. And he's able to counteract at incredible combat speed. I would say his reflexes has gotten better since the Majin Buu saga and Resurrection F. And I would say thanks to his willpower, that also gives him the ability of exerting himself even if a fatigue from using a technique or a transformation. Now, you remember when he did the blue Kaioken times 20 against Hit? I would say that right there really put me on edge, because I had like no idea if he was going to be able to pull that off. And when he was defeated Piccolo, when he was younger, while his limbs were broken, I don't know if you viewers remember, but he was being mortally wounded, but he still survived an impressive display of endurance for his final moments in that tournament, and also in the Tournament of Power, if I would say.
True.
Goku has pushed himself despite of having little stamina, and even being severely injured in effects of perfecting Ultra Instinct while barely having any stamina left. He already used most of that up when he absorbed the Spirit Bomb, and he was in UI Sign. But then Jiren pushed him to master Ultra Instinct, but it took Frieza and 17 to help, because Goku didn't know that it was going to have that much toll on his body.
I agree.
Which I didn't think either, because even in UI Sign, I mean, I know he couldn't hold it long, but I didn't think that it'll like really have black lightning coming out his body like that.
I think a lot of that was cinematic effect.
But we said that the great divine of the power had that much toll on his body, like his body was literally failing. But how did he survive that and still backed up 17 and Frieza? That just shows his durability and his endurance.
Yep.
And thanks to his, and then here's another thing. Did you know, fun fact, Saiyans have powerful lungs?
Relatively. They can actually they could briefly survive in space if it's like the stratosphere, something like that, like at the edge of the planet, but not for too long.
And Saiyans also possess extremely high resistance to heat. It's kind of like how he fought Broly in Dragon Ball Super Broly in the lava. And this was also, did you know I bet you don't know the first scene that was actually shown in Dragon Ball?
Really?
When we found out that Goku can survive in a massive extreme heat, did you know when that was first seen?
Huh. I don't think I remember that.
You remember when he was able to relaxedly calm in the hot saunas of Princess Snake's palace?
Oh yeah, that filler episode. Now I remember.
Yeah, that was a hot sauna.
Yep.
And perhaps most of display, I would say, was Broly, Dragon Ball, Broly's second coming. There's another example when Broly flew and survived the lava.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we're gonna get on. I'm gonna go into the topic of his energy abilities. What do you know? What do you know about Saiyan's ki sense?
I mean, they're more so instinctive. Now, Goku and Vegeta did break the mold because they actually took the spiritual and the key side of things.
So you're talking about spirit control.
Yeah, it was more along those lines. But prior to them, most Saiyans relied on scouters.
Now, I would say Goku is more on the spiritual level than Vegeta is, thanks to his Yardrat training.
Yeah, because Goku only learned instant transmission and prioritized mastering Super Saiyan. That was his priority at the time.
And you know how now key transfer, that's another thing I want to go over. Because see, they said that one thing Goku can do, and I've noticed this my whole life watching Dragon Ball, that he can grant some of his injury to a wounded person and restore them back to health. So I'm like, is that just a Saiyan trait?
Transfer of energy. Yes. Hold on, what's going on?
I was saying key transfer, that Goku can grant some of his energy to a wounded person, kind of like how he did Frieza. But even though Frieza was cut in half, he was still able to fire a large energy beam back at Goku. Now, that's what I was saying. Is that just a Saiyan trait to just completely heal someone with your energy? Because I thought it was just Namekian.
Now, just about anyone can transfer their ki from one person to another. But Saiyans and Namekians just recover at a faster rate compared to humans do.
Mm-hmm. So compared to humans, do you think Saiyans have a greater ability of godly ki mastery?
Well, hence why Goku and Vegeta pursued God divine training under Beerus and Whis.
But I think if Krillin would have did it, we would have had UI Krillin.
I think Roshi would have been the best candidate if you're going to have a human undergo divine training. He has the most experience. He has the most relatively spiritual enlightenment.
Roshi's the Tien.
Yeah, Tien's a close second. Yeah. If Roshi could overcome his pervertedness for enlightenment, then I would say Roshi's the best bet because he's the most experienced. But it's Roshi. He's the typical perverted master. That's never going to change. But if I couldn't get Roshi, Tien would be a close second.
Yeah, I guess I can agree.
And Krillin has too many priorities as a husband and father. And Yamcha's a slacker who wrote off his royalties from his baseball career after Bulma dumped him. So,
yeah, Yamcha kind of went off the ball. You remember what was that? BoJack Unbound. Everybody was fighting in the tournament, and he's just. And I'm just like, Yamcha, what are you doing? And then they're just like, poor Yamcha. And I'm like, he ain't doing nothing.
He literally he can use ki. All he had to do was jump out of the way. All he had to do was jump, and he would have been fine. But that was an easy gag. The only reason Yamcha was there was literally for that gag.
Yeah, and I ain't even gonna lie, Trunks was doing good, but it was funny that we all knew that Gohan was the main person of that movie. But yeah, I like how Krillin and Trunks was in the finals, and Krillin been put up against Zanya. Oh, she put the brakes on my boy. Oh, like Krillin. Krillin kill count. Ding! Dragon Ball Abridged. That was another one.
Well, he did score 18. So after all of the constant memes and owns, he
Bay 21. Bay 21.
She's not canon.
Look, I don't care. Look, 21 is better than 18. Everybody knows. Dragon Ball Fighters. Look, and I ain't gonna lie, everybody at work was talking about it. They were like, out of all the androids, they were like 21 very top 18. Because when Dragon Ball Z was out, I remember when Android 18 had got that nickname all over Twitter, Facebook, it was Bayteen. But then 21 comes and everyone's like, oh, fuck 18 now. I was like, damn, y'all just gonna throw her under the bus. But then,
well, she's married. They kind of have to.
Well, I mean, we don't know who if 21 is. All we know is that she's half human, half android, and half Boo. She's half Majin.
I don't really know how that is even possible because Jiro was long since dead. I'm not going to go into the canon of it.
Because she show transformed into some kind of like gray looking Majin, pink Majin character.
I think that was just a gimmick in the context of fighters. But in any case, she's actually modeled off Jiro's wife.
Yeah, I knew that. And they said 16 was modeled after Jiro's son.
And if you pay attention to the superhero movie, you know that Jiro had a younger brother.
Yes.
Who died, which led to Hito, who died in a car accident.
Yeah, I remember that. That's why they went after Hedo, because that was the only close relative of Jiro. And even then, Hedo made some powerful androids. Don't get me started on Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Well, viewers, we will have a breakdown of that, of why Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Actually, let's put up Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 next episode against 17 and 18.
17 and 18 would win. But
no.
Hear me out,
sir.
Hear me out. 1, 17, 18 have better synergy. 2, Gamma 2 is dead because he sacrificed himself at the end of Superhero. 3, Hedo was. These are purely synthetic androids who were pieced together over the course of 9 months from scrap metal. Android 17, 18 are human cyborg with android components, which means they are objectively and efficiently stronger. In a dragged out fight, 17, 18 would come out on top.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that they
granted
with power scaling. I really feel like they did Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. And, you know, they got the advantage on that. They went up against Piccolo, and no. And this is after Tournament of Power. After Bro, this is
if you take the manga into context, the Gammas were scaled relatively to Goten and Trunks. And that's really not that big of a feat in the grand scheme of things. Now, for someone like Piccolo and a Gohan who slacked off, yes, that's a considerable threat. But again, the Gammas were based I'm not going to say they were entirely based on Goten, and Trunks, because you could argue their personalities were based off Trunks and Mai. But power scaling wise, strength wise, they were based on the boys.
Yeah, I can agree on that. I just feel like that the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, they just...
Now, they're physically stronger than Android 17, 18, but could they hold their own against infinite stamina in a dragged-out fight?
That's the thing, though. Because even against Gohan, he asked Gamma 1, he said, I have a large, stamina source or whatever. Like, they have a battery or something in them or something like that. And he said, well, where you at now? And they were fighting for like 10 minutes. He said, 98%. Only 98? Like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Now, Gamma 2 is much like Trunks in the sense that he's a glory hound and he's impatient. So in a dragged out fight, Gamma 2 would eventually lose his patience, make a careless mistake, and then 17 and 18 would jump on him. Sure,
yeah, I feel like 17 and 18 knows more how to work as a team than Gamma 1 and Gamma 2.
And they're twins, so they have that natural born synergy. The moment Gamma 2 is separate from 1 and is impatient and his ego gets the better of him, he's double teamed faster than Raditz's double Sunday.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe Piccolo might join in with that beast Gohan and be like, 17, 18, we got your back. Oh, I want to see a Tournament of Power 2. Let Gamma 1 be in there. I want to see him get mollywopped.
Well, you can't use blasters or physical weapons, and the Gammas aren't key-based combatants. They're weapons-based.
Well, I would think, well, yeah, they probably, if there was a Tournament of Power 2, they'll probably still get 17 and 18. Yeah, maybe as things are going now, I feel like that if let's say 17 or 18 didn't want to do it, then they might consider that Gamma but I know their first substitute would be Broly.
Okay, here's what I see a Tournament of Power 2 roster being. Now, this is strictly within the context of Super. I'm not going End of Z and beyond at Oob. Now, for strictly Super Tournament of Power 2, UI Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, Gohan Beast, Orange Piccolo, Majin Buu if he doesn't fall asleep again,
And Broly.
Broly, that's 6.
And Master Roshi.
Nah, Master Roshi was kind of forced.
Maybe Tien.
Tien, because you do need a few master martial artists and strategists.
Because I wouldn't say Krillin because
Ten Shinhan, Piccolo. If I couldn't get 17, 18, Gamma 1, if I would either use the boys for that because they're a little older and a little more mature.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Trunks and them. They still got the fusion technique, even though they messed it up.
Again, they haven't actively had to fight consistently since Battle of Gods, maybe Resurrection F if you're going by the anime version.
True.
They haven't had to fight like that, so of course they're going to be sloppy.
All right, but before we get in this video, here's the thing. Can you answer that question? How strong do you think Goku actually is?
By himself, I'm not going to say he's Destroyer tier just yet, but he's a little bit under that.
All right, we're about to find out. I hope y'all enjoy.
Everybody knows that Goku is a fighter, great fighting skills, but however, strength is everything, and he's the same with physiological advantages over other species like humans, like being able to transform to the legendary Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 is his normal forms. He's even got a taste of divine type of energy and has his own forms like that. So he has like another set of Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3, but basically with the God forms, technically some of them are techniques, which are just as good as transformations, like the Master Ultra Instinct and later stuff, which is probably going to be animated sooner or later, that he can actually activate at will. You see him power down, then just powering up on the spot like it ain't no big deal. An attack you would never see Goku do in newer manga panels, he's using Mouth Energy Blast against his new villain. Goku even gets the ability to make his own miniature Susanoo, or one could say Green Lantern construct avatar bullcrap, to where, yeah, he can make a bigger version of himself out of energy. That's clutch. Goku is a character that loves combat. Even used to use a power pole as melee or stab combat to, fight with. That could extend. What does he have, the Sharingan or something? Because he's a quick learner. Being able to do the after image technique after seeing it once, which is ridiculous, showing his fighting paralysis in his universe, being able to copy key manipulative or fast speeding techniques. He knows how to actually fight, saying there's no opening in his guard. He can feel air currents if he can't actually see you, as a way of skills to fight you, even if he can't see you visually. So yeah, tiny air currents. I mean, speed is everything in this show. Other Z fighters that are superhumanly fast, that can move faster than I can see, think they're fast as Super Saiyans against this stuff with Cell. One of the best techniques in the whole series, I would say, is the Solar Flare, because it doesn't matter what your power level is. It seems to work on anybody that has eyes. Good a way to get an opening or stun you, or to escape if you need to. Solar Flare. Evil Containment Wave ability. He learns to seal up beings that are technically immortal. Something he doesn't really know in the anime, but in the manga events, which is a totally different timeline, it seems, because events happen much differently, he can do destroyer technique like Hakai, something we only seen Lord Beerus use in the anime. This is a very hacksy technique to disintegrate every party, but even they can counter this type of stuff if you're strong enough. Goku has a lot of ways to multiply his already crazy base strength. It's something he'll do in the series a lot. But no, it doesn't stop there. He doesn't just rely on transformations. Think of it like this. His strength is still steadily going up, even though he might throughout this time learn transformations on top of it. The same applies for characters like Tien. He doesn't stop training, but he doesn't have the physiological advantage that Goku has. Zenkai Buu, being able to get stronger after recovering from near death. Technically, I guess Tien could get there if he was like 500 years old or something. He would eventually get there. But Goku just has transformations on top of his progression that helps him get higher. Imagine lifting weights as a human and then getting multiplier transformations for your strength. See, us humans, we ain't got that in real life, I'm not going to lie, the Zenkai boost is a thing, and it still is, but it's not the same as it used to be, maybe because they're getting closer to the level of the gods. Like Goku's training, he doesn't even really know about the Zenkai boost, but he's training with senzu beans in the gravity chamber, getting hurt, near death, stuff like that. Because when he arrived to Namek, his power level wasn't nowhere near the level of a first form Frieza, better yet, a final form Frieza without Kaioken. Like, all he had to do is get beat up one good time and he bridged the gap, being below first form Frieza all the way to final form Frieza level, at least 1% in base form without even using Kaioken. because of Zenkai boost. It's like when you first start working out, your muscle gains are ridiculous, but then once you get a certain size, it starts getting harder to put on muscle. It's like when you're real low at the top of the food chain, but once you start getting closer to the hierarchy of the top tiers of the universe, the progression starts to be slow but steady instead of going up like a straight line, if that makes sense. If you're a weightlifter, the term beginner gains is a thing. This was Goku's days of beginner gains with crazy Zenkai boosts, crazy power increases. As you go through sagas like this, the increases are still pretty fast, especially year time spans, but then that junk starts slowing down to where it's like, bruh, it's getting hard to approach these guys' level. These guys are probably like the end of the series type of goals, type of level, that it's harder to get these forms, and it's like gaining mastery or gaining control of this level of power is going to be a lot more difficult than the previous forms. Oh,
Okay, I want to pause it right there. Now, Priest Goku is not canon. It was only shown in Dragon Ball Super Heroes.
I'm
Now,
pretty sure that's just a render to show Ultra Instinct. I think that's
well,
just
yeah,
a render.
I know, but still, in the, I guess in the comic,
Promotional anime.
yeah, it was more of like a side manga, basically.
Yeah.
Goku trained with the Grand Priest, and the Grand Priest is the one that helped him get full control and mastery of Ultra Instinct.
Yes, in the hero version of events, yes.
So I feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, from I guess Tournament of Power to and Priest Goku, I feel like Priest Goku is a little overpowered.
I personally headcanon the heroes timeline is what if Future Trunks and Mai stayed and just lived on Beerus's planet.
Yeah, because I guess Trunks was a Super Saiyan God at this point.
Because with the way that anime kicks off, Trunks and Mai are literally Mai's on Beerus's planet. Trunks gets abducted by Fuse somehow off screen before the series starts, and Goku and Vegeta have to go save him.
Yeah, I guess I can agree with that. I can.
Oh, I got a new Super Saiyan form mastered. Super Saiyan 2 mastered. Ultra Instinct. I thought I mastered it. I mastered it. No, I didn't. I can't turn it on and off when I feel like it. I think I got it. No, I don't. Like you see what I'm saying? Like it's a lot different than these other days. You know what I mean? Part of it is probably because it's not really a form. It's really a technique. It's a stacker. It's kind of like Kaioken. You can stack it on top of the transformations, but it also gives them a physical power increase, but it gives them a perk ability to dodge real good. You know what I'm saying? Let's try this anime content thing again on the channel. Goku, the pure-hearted Saiyan from outer space that is obsessed with martial arts getting stronger and exceeding his own limits from before. And he seems to have this habit of every person that used to be a villain ends up becoming his friend. How strong is Goku? So meaning through all the adventures Goku went through, his base strength has went up ridiculously throughout each saga, learning different techniques that multiply his power, blah, blah, blah. So if this version of Goku was to fight Goku way back here, this version of him will get completely one-shotted by this version of Goku in this saga. You see what I'm saying? He quite literally gets stronger as time goes by. He's obsessed with training and doesn't stop training. In the Dragon Ball universe, controlling your energy is a big key. It's kind of something some people believe in real life is when you work your body physically and you push your mind to new limits to unleash your inner chi, stuff like that. Well, in the Dragon Ball universe, this is a big thing, which is why you see energy auras around the characters because they're harnessing the stuff that's within them to produce energy blasts, explosive attacks, blah, blah, blah. His most destructive aspect, honestly, the best way to get an understanding of his blast power is the opponents he has to face throughout the years. There's this thing that happens a lot in Dragon Ball called the beam struggle, where two big characters blast out two beams and the beams collide with one another.
Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
One of the most popular energy blasts of all time is the Kamehameha. Master Roshi, who was the creator and master of it. And you guessed it, not only is Goku a quick study, a quick learner, but he's also surpassed his former master, Master Roshi. Seeing the Kamehameha only once, being able to copy it. Matter of fact, even had a beam struggle with Master Roshi, who was disguising himself to show his blast.
Stop! Right there! Who are you? And how did you...
Power. Even though he didn't necessarily fight Master Roshi at like his full power here, you know, when he got bulked up, just keep in mind that Master Roshi Kamehameha blast power is capable of blowing away blasting. This is technically Goku's true first master in the whole series. He's gotten leagues and leagues apart stronger than him. If you watch Dragon Ball enough, planet shattering stuff is like a common theme, so this is definitely believable. I mean, he's battled almost everybody, like Piccolo, who he's countered with his own blast. That's technically strong enough to shatter the moon itself. He's even surpassed Piccolo after a while. Piccolo at the time could still blast away an entire moon. Other than early Dragon Ball Z, Goku has since surpassed him and pretty much stayed above Piccolo. Later on, when he gets stronger, learning new techniques like Kaioken, his blast power, thanks to King Kai's training, can overpower being like Vegeta, whose blast power was going to completely wipe out the entire planet into ashes, the planet Earth. It's not an exaggeration based on how easy planet busting is in this universe. Beam stroke type of thing. Not only was this blast going to destroy the Earth and he stalemated it, he even pushed it a step further and even overpowered it. Thanks to this technique he knows called the Kaioken, which is technically an energy multiplier. So if his Kaioken times 3 can already stalemate a planet-shattering attack, that means a times 4 would be above at this point to further prove that he's above the planet busting levels really early in his career. During this certain time period, Kaioken times 3 and Kaioken times 4 was his absolute peak, and he couldn't make the multiplier bigger, but he eventually gets to the point, thanks to his overpowered being known as Frieza, pushing him to the edge. Keep in mind that Frieza blast power with ease, not to mention that Frieza did this in his first form, destroying the entire whole planet to the point where people have even calculated this to be above
The
planet
emphasis
busting,
on that.
just a planet
Yo, you
busting
got to
feat.
give it
Think
to
of it
him.
like this. A lot of people don't think of it like this, but there's a difference between splitting a planet in half and obliterating it to the point where there's like literally no crumbs of it left. Like, even though they're both inevitably the planet's destruction is kind of the same thing, but one is more impressive than the other. Splitting a planet in half is a lot less power needed than obliterating it to a million pieces. I know power levels shouldn't be taken as Bible, but if a small star level type of power can be produced by a first form Frieza, consider how much his power level gets crazier by the time he reaches his full power. Star busting times 240 times that at this point. When it comes to power speed, everything, Frieza's attacks, even attacks that will destroy the entire planet. I know this is an in-canon filler, but this is totally something that's possible in this universe. This guy literally punched this blast away with a fifth punch. I wish scenes like this was in the manga. This same blast destroyed a nearby planet after that. So yeah, even if you're in denial saying, oh, that planet busting feat isn't small star level. Well, even if you don't agree with that, as a bare bones minimum at this point, he's like way over 200 times earth shattering power at this point, especially as a Super Saiyan. As a bare bones minimum, more accurately at this point, he's definitely got to be over 200 times over small star level at this point. If first form Frieza could do. He's like Majin Buu that are way stronger than
We're gonna
Cell.
skip
Beings
this
like
part.
this he can toy around with as a Super Saiyan 3. Goku even stated he could have defeated a Fat Buu as Super Saiyan 3, letting you know his progress. Thanks to a special ritual, Goku gets a taste of divine energy, so he can become this thing or entity known as the Super Saiyan God form. Goku and the God of Destruction Beerus' punches was so strong. At this point, you already know he can destroy planets, solar systems, blah, blah, blah. Their punches were able to shake the entire macrocosm, aka the universe of Dragon Ball, the whole universe. It would turn into a vacuum made of nothingness, apparently, from their clashes if they didn't chill out, to the point where there apparently would be nothing left in the whole universe. It was apparent that the entire universe would end up breaking, and reason why the universe didn't get destroyed is because of the Angle same power, blah, 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 to nullify the raw power, to where it doesn't destroy everything, because Goku doesn't want to destroy everything he loves or his friends and family, right? Duh. Saying it was a trick that he was hoping to perfect. So he's like learning new fighting skills, learning new ways to nullify destructive force during the battle with the Lord Beerus. It is true that Beerus wasn't going all out, but the amount of force he used in that particular occasion was the same exact force. So they both was exerting the same amount of punching power. Yeah, he's able to blast away a universe if he felt like it. The narrator himself stated it was about to destroy the universe. This asteroid pelt, thanks to them fighting, it was getting disintegrated. Narrator stated in this occasion, hit each other again and again with the power capable of destroying even the universe itself. How impressive is this, you ask? This pretty much means that shaking a Dragon Ball universe is not necessarily the equivalent of shaking just a normal old universe we would think of or calculate in real life or something. Because you know in Dragon Ball universe, the afterlife, you can physically go there with a physical body if you have special techniques like instant transmission. Like when Goku trains when he doesn't have a halo on King Khan's planet, even if he's not dead and he doesn't have one of these, he still can go there because it's a physical place you can go to. So the universe has like multiple universe side structures within the said universe, if that makes sense to you. And Lord Goku is able to shake all this BS with his punching power. So when you're in this level of power, you actually got to be careful about how you fight in a universe-sized thing, or you might blow it all up. I mean, don't forget that in the anime of stuff in the past, this doesn't in the manga.
Let's leave
Black
it. Let's
hole
leave
levels
it.
of force. When this team was using the power of love to make their
We
own
gotta
black
get to
hole,
Ultra
it
Instinct
sucks
now.
everything in
Look,
so much to
we
where
already
energy
got the
blasts
taste of what
curve
Super
within it
Saiyan
and
God
absorb
is.
it. even stated
Wait,
that it would suck it
I
in
want to
and
see
shoot
how
energy
powerful
blast
Ultra
at it. They
Instinct
even
is.
call it a massive gravity. They even call it black hole. Goku, even in his base, was able to like not fall flat on his face from under this weight.
And that's
so we
from
know as a
gravity
bare minimum,
training.
it has to be over 500 times normal gravity because that's what almost machines can do. And yeah, this black hole is way worse than that. They always talk about how not even light itself can escape it. This sounds very familiar right here. You know it's heavy since it's shattering the ground beneath it. And this is like the strongest minerals in the universe that is shattering through. But using Super Saiyan Blue, he can actually blast his way out of this density. The density was trying to curve his light and his beams, but now his blast was able to blast through it. He has this state of mind known as Ultra Instinct. This being Kefla was able to actually knock out a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku with a freaking kick. So this fused being is above
the
a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20, but so we know these two are roughly comparable, at least when he's at stage 1 of Ultra Instinct. And if you still have your doubts about this universe destructive power, well, Kefla stated it herself. It stated she can one-shot a universe. I'm telling you, it's a common theme. During that final clash, she was not only avoiding attacks, but also avoiding the attacks while he was charging up a Kamehameha wave. Literally slides on the energy blast with another energy blast he's holding to get an opening and get close in to blast this fusion character away and literally win. He's that strong. Fighting a being that's supposedly above a being that became a universe, known as Jiren, who is apparently above a universe itself, like Infinite Sumatsu himself, because it also gives him like the ability to dodge things without his body having to think. It's like auto dodge. Beings that are Super Saiyan Blue tier, like Golden Frieza, for example, Jiren is way above, but during this time he was definitely probably on the God of Destruction tier, along with Jiren, unless they decide to retcon it again to where they make Beerus stronger than before. But right at this point in the anime, it was implied that they were both God of Destruction tier. He was able to shake the entire whole world of Void, the dimension itself, a place filled with infinite nothingness. There is a universe where lives a mortal, even a God of destruction can't defeat Jiren. Matter of fact, Goku in the Moral Ox training has got so insane to where even his base state is above Piccolo and Ultimate Gohan after the Tournament of Power arc. When they were struggling with this like minion of Moro, aka the big boss of the saga, they was fighting a minion of the boss and they were struggling, doing team up moves and everything. They were even doing attacks that will quote unquote break the earth on this being. They was fighting hard. They was really getting messed up, even on 2v1. But thanks to Goku training with an angel in an attempt to better harness his emotions to try to tap into the Ultra Instinct technique, here comes Goku, speed blitzing this guy so much to the point where even Gohan and Piccolo cannot even see him and are completely invisible to them. Talking about he's reached some new height. Curb stomping. Beings that were handling 17, number 18. Even Moro said he's grown a lot stronger. Perfected Ultra Instinct, his best mode, not only gives him increased strength, speed, durability, but it also gives him the ability to naturally react without his mind having to think. His body reacts on its own. A divine state of mind or angelic type of power. It's the ultimate speed transformation type of technique, basically a technique transformation that also makes his body sturdier for attacks too. If he doesn't die, it doesn't just give him an ability to dodge, it gives him ridiculous punching power and strength and stuff too. This one's like a shockwave this big that can be felt around the entire planet. People that all the way in Kami's Lookout can feel it. These two clashing fists as angelic beings. The difference between Goku is that his opponent could not handle this angel power because it was kind of stolen power. Goku honed his body to handle power-ups like this. You see that little bubble in his head? It's showing the abilities he's currently copying, and that's an actual angel right there in his abilities he's copying. And that's what Goku's fighting. Their punches do all of this, big crater. Goku started getting an advantage over this being because his body literally cannot handle the power of an angel. Stated there, Goku started handling him despite his size changes. His body can withstand this power. I kind of like seeing Goku fight big characters. Goku literally had to fight a being that became one with the earth itself, becoming one with your planet. Goku had to box it out with a being that was going to eventually detonate because even with the Earth itself being his body, he still couldn't contain his power, and the detonation will possibly obliterate the entire galaxy. And here we got Goku in this state, literally parrying attacks from a being like this. Yeah, that's overflowing with too much energy. But Goku seems to be able to handle the power with no problem. It's just he's worried about his friends dying and stuff because he's going to blow up the whole galaxy. And if you don't believe me about the galaxy busting statement, it's not stated only once. It's stated twice. It's literally the Earth itself. Goku can even mix in his Ultra Instinct with other forms like Blue, but it's not at full power when he does it this way. He was battling this opponent known as Granola, who was a race that specialized in sniping and finding vital points. To Granola, Goku still had weak spots when he was Super Saiyan Blue mixing in with Ultra Instinct. Granola has ridiculously strong attacks, and he knows your weak points thanks to that freaking sharp eyes, vital points, guards, and breaking your openings. He even said no matter what transformation you use, no one has zero openings. But this was kind of not true. When Goku said he wasn't using Ultra Instinct at full power, then that's when the battle got completely one-sided, and Granola even said it. He said nobody has a form that has no opening, but when he was in this state, he stated, I can't perceive any vital points. The perfected Ultra Instinct will let you know how much on a different level he is, and how the fight started becoming one-sided after that in this explosive, powered-up state. Even in his earlier days, despite what people want to believe, he still can lift over hundreds of tons because he was able to lift a literal giant Piccolo. Solid boulders that are bigger than his own body, he can crush with his vice grip. Yeah, physically strong enough to pull big chunks of rock out of the ground. There was this sword known as the Z sword that not even the Kais could lift up, aka gods. Him and Gohan during this saga was pretty freaking strong during their training. So yeah, Gohan and Goku could swing it around. He trains with 2-ton weights and is able to move around pretty freely with these weights on. During his earlier training, during his early days, he pushes big rocks along with Krillin, Master Roshi's training. He could do this kind of stuff. He started gravity training early in the series, whether it be 10 times normal gravity or much higher. His power progression.
This mistake is costing Amazon.
Okay, well, I'll have to say that we know Goku is above and beyond Planet Buster.
Definitely. I
Now-
hate to tell you this. I hate to tell you this, man, but in a heated, if we're not counting gag factor, Goku would beat Saitama in a grounded setting, in a grounded battle scenario. Goku would beat Saitama in a grounded battle scenario.
Yeah, you sure about that? You really think Goku?
I'm not
can-
saying it would be easy. It would be a hard fight, but Goku would come out on top in a purely grounded scenario.
Well, there goes to one final segment in question of tonight. It's time to let the Power Hour begin. Now, I'm gonna be Team Saitama, and since we're both Dragon Ball fans, I'll let the guests, get the Dragon Ball side. But I decided to take the gag side. So, without further ado, let's see who is about to come on top. And I hope y'all enjoy it. Now let the Power Hour begin.
Be warned, this is going to be a long one.
Dragon Ball を7つ揃えし者よ。願いを言うがいい。願いは叶えてやった。それならたやすい御用だ。
ものすごく強い奴らと戦うっちゅうのに、なんだかワクワクしてきやがった。オラたちも修行して待ってんかな。おめえはオラには勝てねえ。戦わなくてもわかる。おめえらも随分強いけど、オラたちの勝ちだ。
たやすいことだ。叶えられん願いはない。
どちら様で？
内派一族の血を引いた最後の男だ。闇の中にしかない。
お前、思いっきり攻めた格好してるけど、本当にニヤニヤローンの社長なのか？
兄貴は自分を殺させるための復讐者という存在として俺を選んだんだ。
ぶっちゃけお前サイボーグだから、俺は今25だけど、若いな。お前ならすぐに俺を超えるだろう。
こいつはもっとチビの頃からみんなと同じように戦っていたじゃねえか。まあ仕方ねえか。あとはオラに任してくれ。
All right. Team Saitama in the comments. Team
なかな
Saitama
か
in
の
the
崩壊っ
comments.
ぷりだな。俺を追い出したムカつく大家のアパートは無事か。
修行にいい場所を知ってんだ。たった1日で1年分の修行ができる部屋が神様ん家の神殿にあんだ。
変わってんな、お前。
おめえはオラには勝てねえ。戦わなくてもわかる。
お前、思いっきり攻めた格好してるけど、本当にニヤニヤローンの社長なのか？
オラにゃ鼻くそをほじる力。こいつはったりじゃねえ。おめえは綺麗だが。全力で行くぞ。尻尾だ。こいつにも尻尾がある。あいつ精神と時の部屋から出たみてえだぞ。なんだと。早速やってみる。ちょっと静かにしてくれ。こりゃ本気でいかねえとやべえぞ。うわ
晩飯何にしようかな。
Oh, come on now. I hate ads.
瞬移動ってやつだ。
Round 2.
よくスーパー
Here
が
we
潰れたな。
go. Still, y'all viewers, drop Team Saitama in the comment.
Team Goku.
おめえはよ、自分の強さに自信がありすぎるんだ。そのせいで好きだらけなんだよ。行くぞ！
この緊張感は。マジで来やがった。 俺がなりたかったヒーローと違う気が。
チビたちのフュージョンした気が感じられね
マジンステージ。
もっと強いやつまでいるのか。
Block, block, block. Oh, you put him against the wall. That's a cheap move, Goku.
Hey, it's fair. It's fair.
God,
The whale wanted none of it.
不思議だ。ものすごく強いやつと戦ってるっつうのに。なんだかワクワクしてきやがった。超えちまったな。あの時からずっとスーパーサイヤ人の壁を越えていたんだ。
雑巾首。
Okay, now Goku's just showing off.
おう、そっか。ああ、埼玉だけど。
個々のヒーローの特徴を捉えた。
お、なんだジェノスか。だよな。
Classic.
ヒーロー試験にしちゃ簡単すぎるよな。
ほら、そうだった。
顔は潰されてるし、ニックネームのようなものでしょ。俺の口に剣を突っ込んでまで連れてきたのは、そんな無体なことを聞かせるためか。
参ったな。もっと強いやつまでいるのか。悪いけど、みんな先に蹴っていてくれ。
Saitama is so disrespectful.
おっさんもヒーローなんだな。数値とかデータで提出できると思うんだけど、新人潰しに永久1位が出向いてくるとかよ。
Yep. Yep.
I wonder why the
Audio gave out. There we go. It's coming back.
Why am I not hearing it on my end? Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it at all.
I can't hear it either.
Try moving back a bit.
No. Everything should be working.
Hold on, how early is this in the video? I think you went further ahead.
That's where we are. So what I'm going to do is...
refresh the page.
Yep. And go to here. Oh, come on now. Why won't you let me do this?
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up on my end.
I got it. I just made 2 screens. It's okay. There we go. No?
That's me. Continue.
I have no idea why the sound is off.
Let me
What in the world?
Excuse me.
It was literally just playing.
Okay, it cuts out for like a minute, then it picks up again around the 13 mark. There we go.
なんてスピードだ。全く何も見えなかったわ。髪の毛を20倍にまでなんとか引き上げるしかねえか。
すごい。なんなんだお前ら。味してじ。必殺マジシ味高揚感。
変わってんなお前。俺がなりたかったヒーローと違う気が。
It's not over yet, bro. Where you going? Where you going?
知らねえよ。残念だったな。俺に同じ手は二度聞かねえんだ。
隣行くか。マジで来やがった。こんなに手応えのありそうな怪人は久しぶりだ。
確かにおめえのレベルはさらに上がったかもしんねえけどな。でもオラだってもっと強くなったって思わねえか。
俺が守る。
俺は今25だけど、俺は強くなりすぎた。若いな。お前ならすぐに俺を超えるだろう。この少子化時代にガキを殺すなんて見過ごせん。おう
You know what? It's time. It's time.
この緊張感は。
Oh, you done fucked up now.
いける。
Still no chance. But you're faster though.
Hi everyone. As you probably know, I have always worked alone since I started animation. Today, I would like to develop and get help to continue to offer you work. I already have a person who would be interested in working with me. I would like him to join me in order to and hope to see more of you accompany me in this adventure. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a full compilation. That's why it's 42 minutes. Weave. Weave.
Oh, that's BS.
Intercept. And explosion.
You know what time it is. Serious punch.
二人とも今すぐカメハウスに帰ってくれ。あいつの強さを思ってた以上みてえなんだ。
新人潰しかもしれないぞ。37っておっさんじゃないのか？知らなかった。納得してくれた。
確かにおめえのレベルはさらに上がったかもしんねえけどな。ジータはオラと戦う約束をしたんだ。邪魔すんなよ。とことんやりてえってことか。
なんか俺がなりたかったヒーローと違う気が。
悩みっていうか。
これマジっすか。
Oh no, Saitama, you getting this ass whipping.
「ものすごく強いやつと戦ってるっつうのに、なんだかワクワクしてきやがった。
At Full
Hold on
our
now, we might
technology
have a
programs are
little fight
designed
going on.
different approach to it. We let students get hand.
知らなかった。37っておっさんじゃないのか。新人潰しかもしれないぞ。俺がなりたかったヒーローと違う気が。お前には肉体があっても18歳までの記憶がない。俺には記憶はあっても肉体がない。教えてやりたい。俺にとって今のただ番理が今のでも結構遠慮したつもりだったんだけど、あの時はまだはっきり答える自信がなかった。お前には肉体があっても18歳までの記憶がない。俺には記憶はあっても肉体がない。教えてやりたい。俺にとってこの出来事をきっかけにリンダへの気持ちは抑えようもなく強くなっていった。まだ俺はリンダとナナ先輩には話していない。でもどうしてずっと黙ってるんだ。高校の同級生だったことも入院してる時にあったことも。
お客さんだぞ。
全力で行くぞ。おめえはよ、自分の強さに自信がありすぎるんだ。そのせいで好きだらけなんだよ。
半年以内ってことは明日かもしれないし今日かもしれないな。俺は趣味でヒーローをやってるものだが、一身上の都合によりお前らをぶっ潰すわ。
おめえならあいつらのこと詳しいだろ。なんかいい方法はねえのか。たった1日で1年分の修行ができる部屋が神様んちの神殿にあんだ。とことんやりてえってことか。
とり
りあえず行こうぜ。
カカロット。
貴様の正体は何だ？
おお、あっさりとまあ。だからお前の体重も10倍になる。ここは小さな星だがすごい重力でな。お前の星より10倍ぐらいあるかな。
おめえみてえに非常に徹するのに、どうやったってできねえ。ほらにゃ、鼻くそをほじる力も。
あの時はまだ、はっきり答える自信がなかった。リンダへの気持ちは抑えようもなく強くなっていった。
こんなに手応えのありそうな怪人は久しぶりだ。
待て、その技、犯してはならぬ過ちもあるのだぞ。明日を約束された者などおらん。風を追え、心の内に宿る者だ。自分が何者であるか。
足殴り。魔人ステージ。
尻尾だ。こいつにも尻尾がある。参ったな。もっと強えやつまでいるのか。うまく精神集中できるだろうか。ほらがそうだった。
悟空を起こしてくるからの。
奴の尻尾を強く握れば。
いい運動になるぞ。よし、わしについてくるんじゃぞ。ご心配ご無用じゃ。ちゃんと二人に運ばせますから。
この箱を一つずつ持つんじゃ。牛乳配達をするぞ。
お前が冷たいの。遊びに来いと言わにゃ今度だから。
悪には違いないが、昔のようなずる賢い粗暴さは失せているように感じる。
So many cutscenes.
が、超浸水こそは本物の神の力が宿る水。
良いな。敵は想像以上に強力な悪人たちだ。一瞬の油断も許されんぞ。では、早速始めるかな。
以前は宇宙も18あったんですよ。ほんのわずかでも全王様のご機嫌を損ねれば。
ご心配ご無用じゃ。ちゃんと二人に運ばせますから。
賞金首。
よし、いける。
これで最後だ。よくわかんねえ。たった一日で1年分の修行ができる部屋が。パワーもスピードも回復力もすげえぜ。確かにおめえのレベルはさらに上がったかもしんねえけどな。その方法しかねえみてえだな。もっと強えやつまでいるのか。
Recordings just got better. Hey, I'm so excited to announce that local
見えてきてるらしいな。ほら、おめえみてえに非常に徹するなんてどうやったってできねえ。でもオラだってもっと強くなったって思わねえか。確かにおめえのレベルはさらに上がったかもしんねえけどな。今度ばっかりはワクワクしねえよ。恐ろしくてよ、ガタガタしてら。おめえみてえに非常に徹するなんて。パワーもスピードも回復力もすげえぜ。そうはさせねえけど、二人が組むってとこまではいい考えだ。確かにおめえのレベルはさらに上がったかもしんねえけどな。不思議だ。ものすごく強いやつと戦ってるっつうのに。なんだかワクワクしてきやがった。たった一日で1年分の修行ができる部屋が。そう言うな。修行にいい場所を知ってんだ。
It's not over.
よくわかんね
え。やべえ、何言ってるかわかんなくなってきた。
Dragon Fist!
From that high up, too?
を20倍にまでなんとか引き上げるしかねえか。体が持たねえかもしれねえが。だがあいつが言うように今のあいつの力が本当に 50% のものだったら、なんてスピードだ。まったく何も見えなかった。完全にどうしようもねえ。
おい、悟空、しっかりしろ。僕はいくつくらいなんでしょうか。
そう言うな。おめえらもずいぶん強えけど、オラたちの勝ちだ。と修行積んでこいよ。
もしかしたらフリーザがいるかもしれないけど、シェンロンを呼び出す合言葉を最長老様に聞かないとどうしようもないからな。
確かにおめえのレベルはさらに上がったかもしんねえけどな。でもオラだってもっと強くなったって思わねえか。
お前食べろよ。遠慮なんかするなって。
Oh, you fucked up. You fucked up.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if you actually got down and took missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
The rest is just
Oh,
epilogue,
wait, it ain't
man.
over yet.
新人潰しじゃなかったのか？数値とかデータで提出できると思うんだけど。
俺、最長老様のところに行ってくる。なるべく気配を殺しながらな。すぐ近くなんだろ。
あ、ここも開かないな。
そのせいで好きだらけなんだよ。
俺、そのナナ先輩のバイトやるわ。どんな仕事でも茶道部の紹介よりはマシなはずだ。うざいだろう、ゴークの束縛癖。もしかして俺余計なことしましたか？事故のことリンダ先輩に連絡して心配させちゃって。
考えてもみろよ。こいつはもっとチビの頃からみんなと同じように戦っていたじゃねえか。
野菜かなんか作ってあったじゃないか。
ハンマーヘッドならあっちに行ったけど、全裸で。俺は桃源団の仲間じゃねえよ。
確かにおめえのレベルはさらに上がったかもしんねえけどな。ものすごく強い奴らと戦うっちゅうのに、なんだかワクワクしてきやがった。オラたちも修行して待ってんかな。おめえはオラには勝てねえ。戦わなくてもわかる。おめえらも随分強えけど。
俺は桃源団の仲間じゃねえよ。
見事だ、孫悟空。
ものすごく強い奴らと戦うっちゅうのに。
良いな。敵は想像以上に強力な悪人たちだ。一瞬の油断も許されんぞ。軽いだけではないぞ。素晴らしく丈夫な布で作ってある。少しぐらいの攻撃など跳ね返す。知れぬ強さを持ったやつじゃ。しかも心は水晶よりも透き通っておる。あんな奴が下界におったとはのう。何度もくどく言うようじゃがな。
おめえはよ、自分の強さに自信がありすぎるんだ。ほら、おめえみてえに非常に徹するなんて、どうやったってできねえ。まあ、仕方ねえか。ベジータ。ベジータ、最後グーから人差し指を伸ばすんだぞ。
一つだけでも手に入れておくのが先決だ。
Look, I'll have to. I wouldn't say that.
You can call it a draw. You can call it a draw.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I was like, it's hard to say. I can't really like, from a prospector's point, I can't just give Goku the win because him and Saitama were really like neck to neck.
But
There wasn't
that Dragon Fist sealed it. Saitama blacked out first, so technically speaking.
Well, if it wasn't for, well, of course, you took a Dragon Fist from space. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be kind of, for like 2 minutes, but then I feel like Saitama would have got back up, but Krillin was there to give him a sensu bean. So.
Okay, we'll settle on a draw because that's the safest ending without pissing anybody off. So a draw is a safer ending. Though I count that as a dub. The Dragon Fist from space, like you're done. You're done.
Yeah, so I basically is going to call that. So I hope everybody has got a clear understanding that it's kind of hard to put these different anime characters against each other because power scaling, you might think of one person might win and it might end up being a draw because just by their power scaling works and how big and low these different universes power, like you don't know, one power level can be smaller in one universe but match another, but I have to give that was a very good show. That was a good show.
Very
but
stay tuned for an official update on Dynamic Duo episode 3, Demon Slayer, and we got a lot to talk about, so stay tuned.
Yes, we do. And episode 4 will come out next week, hopefully after Dynamic Duo, but we will stay tuned. As you know, I'm your boy Kid Takeoff,
J Heat Blaze.
All righty, and we'll see y'all next time.